Hey everyone, it's another off week for the bunker, so this week we're going to be talking about Pokemon Let's Go. And at the time of recording this, I'm not exactly sure what my thumbnail is going to be or the title, but I'm assuming I'm going with what I have here, which is really dramatic, which is like the day Pokemon died or something, which is, again, dramatic, but that's really what it feels like to me, because Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu is not only the last Pokemon game that I bought, it's technically the last Pokemon game that I played. I didn't really realize it at the time, but Let's Go was so bad that I think it genuinely awakened me to how much I don't like Pokemon. Because I didn't buy or play Sword and Shield, I didn't buy or play Scarlet and Violet, I didn't even care about the Diamond and Pearl remake. And for as much as Arceus caught my attention, I didn't want to play that one either because everything I saw from it looked boring. And then when I did dare to play even a little bit of the game, my suspicions were proven correct as far as I got. But had any of those games in my last Pokemon game, except for maybe Arceus, I don't know if I would still feel the way that I do, because while Gen 8 is bad, and Gen 9 is buggy, and Arceus is Arceus, they're still identifiably Pokemon games, again, aside from maybe Arceus. But Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu was so fucking weird and bizarre that I think it was the first game that I ever really hated because I could identify it as slop. Not the first slop game I played, mind you, obviously I played a bunch of shovelware in my younger days. But as a wee lad, you play shovelware games just because they're there, they're games to you. You don't really think about whether or not they're really, really bad, unless you end up really, really hating them. But with Let's Go Pikachu, that was the first time that I thought, this game is worthless to anybody. This game isn't worth anything to anybody. Even if they think that's worth it to them, they're wrong. The controls are maddening when not playing in handheld. Why in God's green earth would they possibly want you to play with one fucking Joy-Con? I think that shit's pretty stupid in Super Mario Party as well, but at the very, very, very least, Super Mario Party has the excuse of being a 4-player game, which means it's way easier to justify just buying one extra controller, or at least one extra pair of controllers, to play with all 4 people, because you can play with 4 people with only 2 pairs of Joy-Cons. This is not the case for Pokemon Let's Go. It is a single-player game, ideally. There is a 2-player mode, but I don't know why the fuck you'd ever want to play it, since it makes the game for babies. Every battle becomes a double battle, even when the other person only has 1 Pokemon. The only way you would ever want to use this 2-player mode is if you were playing with your actual drooling toddler of a second player, and you needed for them to have something to do. Which, by the way, is only one of the many problems that comes with the Let's Go games in terms of being too easy. Your starter Pokemon has always been pretty strong, but that's usually from like a perspective of growth, because they will usually outpace the rest of your team pretty quickly. They've never been given completely unique mechanics to just steamroll the entire rest of the game, except for the maybe exception of Gen 7, because your starter had access to a special Z move, but Z moves in general were always just OHKOs, so I think it was just a different animation for your starter. I don't think they were meaningfully any different. But not in Let's Go. God forbid the player ever want to do anything but use the fucking Pikachu or Eevee. And then the part that probably pisses me off the most, which is the Pokemon Go integration. That being that Let's Go feels like it exists for the entire purpose of serving Pokemon Go, or getting Pokemon Go fans to spend more money on the franchise. You catch Pokemon like in Go, you trade Pokemon like in Go, you take away shit like held items and abilities like in Pokemon Go, you make battles fucking worthless like in Pokemon Go. They might as well have just called the game Pokemon Let's Go buy some more Pokemon shit, because if you want Mew, that's $100, bitch! Which of course you can also use with Pokemon Go. I can't prove that Pokemon Let's Go is the most cynical Pokemon game, but what I can say is that's the only one sold for full price that only serves as an advertisement for a mobile game, so you tell me what that means.